I think it's a fantastic experience. I think it was well worth it. I think it's beneficial to everybody. I don't think it really matters at the end of the day what your goals are, that you guys are able to adapt to every single person's need. And I think that that's super important. And I think you guys nailed that.
So hi, everybody. I have Ashley here with me. I'm super excited to share her story. In the 16 weeks she's been with us, she's lost about 10 pounds, which I feel has been really good because not only has she lost weight, but lots of inches, and her body has changed a whole lot. So Ashley, I'm just going to turn the mic to you and let everybody know what really motivated you to start training with Right to Fitness.
That's a very good question. And I had to actually think about this for quite some time. And then I really had to be honest about that. So don't laugh too hard, but really it was Derek's TikToks. Honestly, they were extremely funny. They were captivating. And I was at a stage of my health and fitness journey where I just needed an easy, fresh approach. And I just felt super comfortable reaching out. And that's kind of how that started.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, that's the whole point of what we do, trying to make things easily understandable and approachable to what we're doing. So that's great that was motivating enough for you. That's awesome. And have you previously tried anything else to achieve your health and fitness goals? If so, what were they?
Nothing in particular, like no fad diets necessarily. I didn't try keto. I haven't done anything like that. I have done a lot of research. Did try a little bit of carbohydrate cycling. So I was still eating the carbohydrates. I was just very minimal depending on what day I was on. However, it did work at the beginning of my weight loss journey, which was started many, many years ago. It did work because I was overweight. Don't like using the word obese, but I was heavier than I should have been. So it actually worked for the first little bit. But when I lost the weight and, that maintenance, it no longer worked. So I had to kind of shift and bob. So wasn't sustainable, which seems to be the common theme when you're looking at those fad diets. So, yeah.
During that time of your carb cycling, were you doing any sort of exercise? Like, did you have a great plan with like workouts or anything during that time?
Yeah, so I do like, I definitely enjoy pre-planned workouts that I don't have to put too much effort into as far as brain power goes. So I do like we did participate in Beachbody workouts because again, it took all of the brain power out of it, and we were working out from home, so it just made it that much easier. Or like YouTube videos that we found, Peloton. I definitely participate in those workouts prior to Right to Fitness, which were great. Again, it was more the nutrition side that was not sustainable.
How did you feel before starting your transformation program?
I felt good. Like there wasn't anything, wrong on a mental health level. Like I still felt really good in my body and all of that jazz. But because of health problems, being diagnosed with hashimotos, which is a thyroid disease, and then having like an injury on my back, I wasn't feeling physically well. Because of the imbalances. And then I wasn't able to work out, which I thought I wasn't supposed to be working out because of my back problems, which by the way is wrong. You should still work out. I didn't physically feel good, which then was pushing my mental health after a few months of kind of trying to take it back a bit. So I felt good, but I didn't feel good, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, it makes total sense. Just to kind of speak to, I guess, our programming and the Hashimoto's and your back, have those like gotten better? Did you learn anything food wise, exercise wise to kind of help support those things that you had currently or that you had going on before joining the program?
Yeah, absolutely. So, nobody else knows I'm a bit crazy. So I do a lot of research myself. And I did learn that when I was researching prior to the program that, you're supposed to be gluten-free, dairy-free to reduce that inflammation for Hashimoto's. However, I just didn't want to believe it. So I didn't do it. So during this program, you really pushed that it should be something I should be at least attempting to try for a few weeks, which was a game changer in my body composition as well as how I was feeling, and good gut health no inflammation. It really made a difference in my hormonal balance. So I definitely felt the positive effects of that, and I will continue to do that probably for the rest of my life. The workouts that Vanessa, you were making for me were geared towards my injuries, which was great because I was scared of injuring myself further, even though we have no idea what caused the initial injury. But it hasn't. It actually has strengthened my back. It's strengthened my core, which is reducing that inflammation in my back, causing that pain. So it's been good. It's been
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Yeah, and I think that's, the pre-planned workouts like Beachbody, Peloton, those things, they're super great. But when you have something specific like a back injury, you can't necessarily jump into something that's high intensity. Something that I was really excited for was, and I think early on, we really started you out at a very foundational level, like building up your core, working around that injury, building up like your hips and your strength in that area. So I'm was really excited to get to a point where I could push you a little bit harder. And I think the last probably 8 weeks of your program were really really pushed you as far as like challenging workouts. But I don't think we could have got there without those foundational things before, which was, I think, a cool thing of your specific journey. What was your goal when starting out?
My main goal was to start working out again, because I wasn't, and that was probably the hardest thing out of this whole journey has been with the back and the hormones. So it was really just to get a good exercise plan that worked with my back, which we did. And then I guess my secondary goal would have been that hormone, and then my third would be weight loss, which all 3 goals were attained. So
Good, awesome.
Amazing. Yeah. Like I just feel really, really good. It's put a routine back into my everyday, which I had missed for a few months. So that's been amazing.
How do you feel now, and how do you feel like your life has changed since starting the program?
I think what this program really taught me was it's giving me a lot of tools to put in my toolbox. And I mean, I had like a vast knowledge previous because of my own kind of research, but I didn't realize, the damage I could have been potentially doing if I was too under a caloric deficit. Like my calorie deficit was too low, and not eating enough protein. Like I've always eaten a lot of protein, but nowhere near kind of what you started me off with, which I thought was insane. And yet I managed to do it. The first 2 weeks was probably the hardest. And then after that, it was really, really easy to hit that target. And I can see the difference that it's done for my body composition. So that's really, really good. And just the tools in general, just, paying attention to your foods and, rethinking those carbohydrates, sweet potato versus, I don't know, a regular potato, and just kind of paying attention to those carbohydrates and how much you're eating. We're supposed to be eating, really, not less, but I wasn't eating enough carbs either. So I learned a lot of those things.
Yeah. And we're using your program, and we just had conversation about eating more food, which is awesome.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
What aspects of our coaching have you most enjoyed?
The personal relationship that, I had a lot going on in this journey. I've had a lot going on prior to this journey, which brought me to this. And I've been open and honest kind of what's going on with my personal life, and you're extremely receptive. And I just find that the program was adaptable to me as a person. It wasn't just like a one size fit all. It was, no, you know what, Vanessa, this is what's happening this week. This is how I need to fit this in. And you would make modifications and kind of just guide the program completely to what my needs were. And I think that's what's extremely important within the fitness world. A lot of people, it's one size fits all, and it doesn't. We all know that. And I felt you were extremely attentive to my needs. So that was, I think, the best part of the whole program.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's definitely, everybody's different. So it's super important to make sure that we're meeting your guys' needs. So I'm glad you felt the love there. So what new goals do you have now moving forward?
Just to kind of maintain the tools that you guys have provided going into this new season of my life that I'm going to be going through. So I want to make sure that I stay consistent with my nutrition, stay consistent with my exercise, and just kind of move through this journey and kind of see what happens. And just take it one day at a time.
Yep. I always say maintenance, learning how to maintain and keep this lifestyle going is a skill in itself. Like it's just, you have to have this like new goal or new milestone, but really just like continuing every day to put in effort and maintaining where you are is a skill. So I'm confident you're going to crush that moving forward. What would you tell anyone who is thinking about working with Break to Fitness?
Do it. Yeah, I think it's a fantastic experience. I think it was well worth it. And I would have probably continued my programming if I didn't know what's going to happen in the next 3 months of my personal life. Because I like to focus on what I'm doing and put my whole heart into it. So yeah, I think it's beneficial to everybody, especially if you're looking for, I mean, it depends on what you're looking for. I don't think it really matters at the end of the day what your goals are, that you guys are able to adapt to every single person's need. And I think that that's super important. And I think you guys nail that right on the, you get it, you got it. So I think that's what I would tell people. It's super worth it.